Hey, Chris Liepe here. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate or arguments for this video because Autotune is one of those things, pitch correction in general, people get so polarized and angry about it. And I can understand why. It's ruined a lot of otherwise good vocal performances. And the abuse of it in modern music, it sucks the life out of the voice, and particularly in certain types of genres. The other thing that it does is it can tend to take the thrill out of listening to a voice if you know it's been auto-tuned, because you can hear what's going on, and it pulls the cool factor out of the voice. Again, if it's overused, misused, this is where I'm going to get the hate, because I can see a lot of people Xing out of the video right now and saying, not just because it's overused. I hate it. I hate auto-tune. I hate pitch correction. It ruins everything. Ask yourself this question, because I've got replies and comments like this from people like, oh, that singer uses auto-tune, so we can't learn from this. Or that singer uses auto-tune, so he's not a good singer. Or I can totally hear the auto-tune in that line, so the whole song sucks. If a singer uses auto-tune on something, can you still learn from that singer? Can you still enjoy that singer? Now, the can you still enjoy that singer, maybe there's no right or wrong. Maybe you can't. And I agree. There's some things that are so heavily tuned that I just kind of zone out. But if there is mild tuning once in a while here and there on stuff, I like lots of bands. Chester Bennington used tons of tuning on his voice. Well, the production had tons of tuning on it. Breaking Benjamin, tons of tuning. Periphery, lots of tuning. These are some of my favorite bands and favorite vocalists. So can you learn from these vocalists? Can you create and be inspired by these vocalists even if there's tuning? Ask yourself that question. Now, let's get disgusted first, and then we'll get inspired. Here's Michael Jackson. Tuned. We've got this passage here, which I just love, from Billie Jean.
Could the lie become the truth? Hey, the Billie Jean is not my love. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. Woo! She says I am the one.
All right, now, here is where modern music and modern production would go, oh, that's got to be tuned. That's not right. And I'm going to show you, it's going to totally jack it up. This is the melody. He's saying it, quote unquote, right here.
She says I am the one.
I am the one. Those are the pitches. But here,
I am the one.
Hear how he didn't walk down that pitch right? Quote, right.
I am the one.
I am the one. Like that the is not quite right. So they'd go, oh, we gotta lock that in. Same goes for drumming and timing corrections. You should just sing it well with a lot of attitude. You shouldn't fix it. But here we go. We're gonna pitch correct this part.
I am the one. I am the one.
So it's this note right here. I am the. We want it to be there. And then here, the one. Whole step down. Incidentally, working with pitch correction really trains your ear, forces you to hear notes well and hear intervals. And we're gonna see how the vibrato is causing pitchiness. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, but this is what a lot of people do and how it gets misused. Heck, let's just lock in the whole line. And we're going to make this, we're going to retune that so it's more precise. Ready?
I am the one. I am the one.
And you hear this all the time in modern music. You hear it all the time. Hear how it changed the formant? It made it thinner. It actually changed the tone of his voice right here.
One.
It at the end there. It's not cool. Now it's more accurate.
I am the one. I am the one.
it does not work. Now, you put this in context, so let's undo it. Listen.
I am the one. I am the one.
And then redo it.
I am the one.
It sucks the life out of it. It makes it sound fake. Even if we were to do it with less. So if I undo that, and let's just say we get rid of this one, and maybe this one even. Now we're just going to correct that one note.
I am the one. I am the one.
That is certainly less noticeable. But what we've done is we've taken a recording that has existed for so long and that we know it in a certain way. And these little imperfections, these little pitchiness imperfections actually enhance the overall free, groovy vibe of what we're hearing. Part of it is that we've heard it for so long, but part of it is that as our ears follow with a great singer like Michael Jackson, if everything is too perfect, we lose that sense of anticipation and human connection. So especially with stuff like this, you should don't focus on being perfect with your pitch and then don't go into Autotune and try to make yourself perfect. Sing it till you get it. And you can actually use Autotune to help you see if you're off, if you're hearing something that's weird, but then use it as a way to educate yourself and learn more. Don't use it as a crutch for you not to improve or for you not to learn. And certainly don't take Michael Jackson and tune him. 2008 producers, please. Now, let's go to the other side here. And this is one of my favorite singers of all time. I've gotten a chance to work with him personally in the studio. Let's listen to this.
Mountains, the love we take and the grave mistakes, the land we rape that's within our wake, and all we strive for is blood and satellites. We're going.
One of my favorite songs, too, Satellites by Periphery. Now, this, I know for a fact that this was tuned. Very similar to the way that I showed you Michael Jackson's was tuned. Not all tuned, but there were notes that were manipulated here and there. And then on that ending part here, the background vocals were intentionally tuned and really tightened. Those were really tuned. Now, he sung all of this on pitch. I've watched him. We were going for a certain vibe here, almost a synthy vibe on these notes at the end, that the tuning artistically creates a certain effect, much like you would be using delay or reverb. So in this case, the tuning isn't a crutch. It's not Spencer can't sing, and so we're going to use this. It's like it's being used as an artistic coolness that fits the genre. And this honestly doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, there's also some light tuning on some of these other notes.
The love we take and the grave mistakes.
I can hear it here.
The love we take and the grave
Take! I can hear it on that word take. And I mean, I know this pretty well, so I know which notes are tuned and which ones are not.
The land we rape, that's within our way.
But you can hear that they left. That note is, listen carefully.
That's within our way.
That really high note there, that G or whatever, is not tuned, but then they zeroed it in here. On that note. You have to ask yourself the question then. I mean, Spencer is one of the greatest singers that I've had the privilege of working with and that I think listen to. He emotes, he can scream, he can sing, he has this wonderful rhythmic qualities to his voice. So good. So because they used Autotune on this gang vocal and he spot-tuned some of these parts, does that ruin the recording for you? It doesn't for me. What I'm trying to do here is instill some balance. Let's not bring out the clubs and beat people to death who use Autotune. It is pretty bad when recordings that don't need to be tuned are tuned. And it is pretty bad when a singer can't deliver a good performance unless they use tuning. Both of those are misuses of Autotune. And then one more, if it gets to the point to where a decently good performance is tuned more than it needs to be, or tuned period, when it doesn't need to be, just because the genre calls for it or whatever, I don't get into that. But just because I don't get into it doesn't mean I need to get angry about it. I do get angry about tuning Michael Jackson. I absolutely do. Just as I'd get angry about tuning Freddie Mercury or tuning a really good vocalist that, hey, just sing it more times. When I'm coaching people through in my own studio and when I'm doing my voice, just sing it till you get it. And then use auto-tuning as an intentional effect on background vocals or something like that, as opposed to making it a crutch. That's where I draw the line. But I also want to encourage you, don't get emotionally involved. Don't get angry about it. I hate Autotune! We don't need to do that. It's a good tool that has contributed good things to music as well as bad things. Just like lots of effects. You could make the same argument with Beat Detective in creating two perfect drums. You suck the groove out of them. Yeah, but moving a snare hit a little bit to make it hit a little bit better and dragging, is that cheating? Well, it is cheating, but nobody heard it because it was a transparent edit and it helped the performance of the song. You could argue, well, in my day they didn't need to. Well, right. And those recordings are great because they just played it over and over and over and over again till they got it. And that's awesome. That's awesome. And we should be doing that today. And digital recording has taken away some of that discipline. But when you hear a band where you can tell they did take after take until they really nailed it, they comped together takes or whatever, that's always more rewarding to listen to and to do. And like I said, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate, and I don't care what you say, I still hate Autotune, or you're not a real singer because you like Autotune and certain. Don't take words out of my mouth. I'm ranting here, but I'm also trying to keep you guys in perspective as vocalists, as fans of vocalists, and as students of your voice, and fans of lots of people that you probably don't know use Autotune that do. I'm going to say that again. You're probably fans of vocalists who they don't use Autotune, and this guy does use Autotune. You don't know. You don't know. One of the guys on the channel that I've been doing a lot of stuff with is Julian Casablancas from The Strokes. He uses Autotune. Their new album is a great album. It's a great vocal album. There's so much expression there, but there is absolutely tuning. Don't be resentful and all bad moodish because of Autotune. Look at the performance, the performer. Does it resonate with you? Does it connect with you emotionally? No? Throw it out. Go listen to something else, whether it has tuning on it or not. I'm done with my rant. Let's get into good music. Let's learn from it. Let's embrace vocalists that we love and learn from those and experiment with those things, regardless of whether they use Autotune or Beat Detective or do editing, or let's enjoy the music or not.